Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Marcel Mindset TV. On a weekly basis, we bring so many valuable guests. We talk about leadership, mindset, business, entrepreneurship. We have an array of topics that we bring on a weekly basis. In order for the channel to grow, I need everybody to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, make sure you guys are sharing this valuable content that can actually change someone's life. All right. So today on the show, I was scrolling through LinkedIn and I'm trying to improve on my leadership and my mindset. I'm obsessed with that. And I came across this individual's page and I was really inspired by the content that I was seeing. Not only the one time that I seen the content, but it was extremely consistent. And as I went through it, I saw that if I applied some of the content that this guest was posting and came up with, I will change my life. The leadership, the mindset, everything that this individual is bringing to the LinkedIn world, it's something that you want to get connected with, because I know we all want success. I know we all want to level up. And there's information out there that we can get, that we can find, but we got to make sure that we're finding the right people. And I found the right person for you to level up in your leadership and in your mindset. So I'd like to welcome to the show, Clavette Combs.
Wow, now that is an introduction and a half. Oh, okay. So I'm hoping I can live up to that for your viewers. Because that was an introduction and a half. Thank you, Marcel.
No, thank you. Thank you. It was all genuine, all from the heart. It's what I felt. And that's
Appreciate
just, what came out. So, for our audience, who is Clavette Combs?
Well, okay. First and foremost, mother of three girls. That is, those girls are my heart. They're my everything. That's why I do everything. When they ask you in those, interview questions, what motivates you? It's always my kids.
Yeah.
One, they've become accustomed to a lifestyle that I've created for them, having been in sales for over 15 years. But they are my right there. They're like, when you talk about ride or die, you can't get any more than that. So I'm definitely motivated and pushed by my kids. And that's a little bit about me. Of course, a mother and wife, and all things about food and travel. But my professional side is all about leadership development, been in sales development for over 15 years. So this is just kind of innate to me now. And I just love talking about it.
Yeah. And it's an honor to have you here. And, your three daughters have an extraordinary leader, and I'm sure you're raising them to be great leaders themselves too. So
thank you.
We have a millennial audience, and we also have an older audience, and we do have an even younger audience that view the show. And a lot of people, there's a lot of topics out there about leadership. So what does it mean to be a leader, and how can someone develop their leadership skills?
Great question. So leadership is not a title. Leadership is what you do. It's about motivating, inspiring, and helping your team, helping those that you are in charge of move to the next level. It's about, the best way to sum it up is a quote from John C. Maxwell. And trust me, I have tons of quotes coming at the yin yang, because this is what I do. I live for this stuff. And leadership is not about titles, positions, or flow charts. It's about one influencing another. And it's that influencing, helping them level up, get to their next level. That's a leader. For me, I've always subscribed to taking the approach of a servant leader, putting my team first, helping them achieve their goals. And to me, that's what a leader does.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that a leader can do. So if you want to get on that path of leadership, not only should you follow Clavette, on LinkedIn. Is that the only platform that you're on right now, is LinkedIn?
That's the only platform that I'm focusing on.
Okay.
Yes.
You follow Clavette on LinkedIn and get plugged in so you can get yourself on that leadership path, because it does run deep. Obviously, this is just a short podcast, a short version, but it does run deep. And like I said, the information that Clavette is putting out there has been extremely helpful to me. And I'm sure a lot of people are benefiting from that. Right. So
thank you.
The New Year's resolutions, right? We talk about the new year. Everybody comes in and they say, new year, new me. There's memes, there's posts, there's everything like that, right? And for me personally, I started my New Year's in December. I didn't want to wait till January
Okay.
1st. So, do you believe in New Year's resolutions? If not, when is the right time to make a change?
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this. When's the best time to have planted a tree?
Right now? Well, when obviously in the season.
So it's an old Japanese proverb. It's when's the best time to plant a tree? It was 20 years ago.
Oh yeah,
And
like
if
that.
you haven't, the next best time is today.
Yeah.
So for all of those who are like resolution, wait till Jan 1, they go in, 2 weeks into the year, and all of a sudden by Jan 15th, how many people have already broken their resolutions? So for me, it's not necessarily about resolutions more than setting specific SMART goals for yourself. So making sure that they're specific, that they're measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And then instead of having these big audacious goals, break it down into quarterly achievable, steps. So one thing that I'm starting or have started with a lot of griping in between is the 75 hard by Andy Frisella.
Yes.
So you can commit to 10 weeks. Like if you default or, mess up any step, you have to start back to day 1, but it's 10 weeks. It's time bound, it's specific, and it's measurable. So that way I know I'm achieving my goal. And then you compound that. I'm not just going to do it once throughout the year. I'm going to do it several times to get to my ultimate goal of where I want to be health wise. So it's not so much a resolution, but setting specific goals and then working your way to them.
Right. I love that answer. So 20, if not 20 years ago, start today, right? Get on that
Exactly.
today. Don't wait till the new year. I like that because, a lot of people, they say, oh, I'm going to wait till January. And then, like you just said, by the third week, it's over, right? So make that change today. All right.
Exactly.
So we talk about fear. Some people are afraid to, take a risk, or, some people are afraid to bet on themselves, or, just some people are even afraid of success. So, how can someone overcome fear and start that project or apply for that job they've always wanted?
Ooh, that's a great question. I could definitely say that was me for many years. Even though being successful in sales, I was fearful to kind of take that leap into content creation on LinkedIn. I'm like, who's going to listen to me? What am I going to say? But you have to realize, and Jim Rohn said this, if your why is powerful, the how is easy.
Wow.
So if you have a dream and a goal that's bigger than yourself, all of the fear kind of erodes away when you, and I did a post on this actually on LinkedIn about there's really 5 steps that it boils down to focusing on your dreams. So if you have that dream, it pulls you through the hard time. You focus on the positive because guess what? You survived every day of your good or bad decision. So you're still here to improve. You focus on what you can control because we all get caught up in what if this and what if that. You have no control. So once you let go of those things, then you can start moving the needle and influencing the outcome. And then you focus on your future. It's not easy, but you're going to start seeing yourself in that future state. And then you focus on gratitude because fear and gratitude cannot exist. So once you start doing all of those things in combination, you push past the fear. And then you can actually use that fear to move you to that next stage.
Wow. I love that. You said, if your why is powerful, the how is easy. I love that
Exactly.
statement. That is so relatable, and you could use that. All right. If you have your why is powerful, the how is easy. You're able to do that. All right. So those are a few tips that Clavette has given out, that if you're facing fear, listen to those, and that's how you can make that change. Because don't stop yourself. Because you may have all these gifts, but fear is stopping you. And you know what? Just like talking to you right now, I'm like, how do you not have your own podcast? How do you not have your own show? Like, I'm here like taking notes. You got me inspired. Like, I think that might be, you're ready. Like, let's do this. All right. So,
Great. I enjoyed this.
yeah. So, like you said earlier in the show, you have 3 daughters. So if you were to talk to your daughters, would you tell them to follow their passions or follow the money?
Ooh, see, I've that's a tough question. So, okay, I can break it down how I've done it in my life. I have gone for roles based on the money.
Yeah.
A lot of anguish, pain, and not necessarily the best fit. However, it was done in partnership with my husband, where I was holding it down, doing the money so he could pursue his passion. Now his passion has blown up and is sustaining, and now it's my turn to go and do my passion.
Yeah.
So I tell my kids, I want you to find your passion, but make sure it's something that you can actually, you're solving a problem to bring to the market. I was fortunate enough to go to InvestFest this summer in Atlanta, and one of the speakers there was Steve Harvey.
Yep.
And Steve Harvey was always like, you know what? You go for your passion, because guess what? You can make a living doing anything. You could be a professional basket weaver. You could be a professional, road sweeper, but you could even make a profession out of, I don't know, telling jokes. The man is how a multi millionaire from telling a couple of jokes.
Right.
So I think that everyone has a different path. Sometimes you need to follow the money for a certain bit to fulfill, to kind of create that, repository, the bank, so to speak, so that you can then leverage that to fulfill your passion. But I think passion will ultimately always win out.
Yeah, I agree with you. Couldn't agree with you more. And, something stood out to me that you went to a conference, EYL, Earn Your Leisure out in Atlanta. I've actually had a ticket for there. I couldn't make it out. I had other
Oh, you missed out.
I missed out. But just the fact that you're going to better yourself. You're hopping on a plane, in turn spending money, go on the plane to get better. That shows, that you want to improve. You're going to get the information. So, everything that you're saying makes sense here today. The way you're able to articulate yourself, the value you're able to provide is because you've done the work on yourself. So for the audience out there, do the work on yourself, and it shows in this episode.
You have to invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself.
That is, if I could tell anyone anything, the harder you work on yourself is the more outcome that you will get. If you pour into your job, you'll make a great living. When you pour into yourself, you'll make a fortune. Yeah. I'm taking that and stealing that from Jim Rohn, but that is the heart of it right there. And every single speaker at InvestFest, that was the whole theme. It's invest in you, because no one else is going to put that money in your hand. No one else is going to give you that knowledge. No one else is going to do it for you. No one's coming to save us. We're in this by ourselves. So you need to be preparing yourself and skilling yourself up so that you can take on all of these things. And you know what? You have something to bring to the marketplace.
That's right. Great. Thank you.
No worries.
Mindset. All right. Mindset.
Yes.
This is Mindset TV. So we always talk about mindset. Mindset is a way of life for me. I live in that way. I always check in with my mindset. I always try to make sure I have the right mindset. I do whatever it takes to have the right mindset. So what mindset is required for success, and how can someone develop a stronger mindset?
Oh, that's a great question. So I stumbled on mindset while getting rejected for a job. That's right. I got rejected. However, I had such a great connection with the interviewer. She's like, you know what? Here's a book that I would recommend that you read. And it was Mindset by Carol Dweck. At the time, I wanted to tell her some choice words about her book, but I actually kind of said, okay, after, cooling down, I read it. And in her book, Carol Dweck, and for those who don't know her, she's a Stanford psychologist, and this is her life work. Her book is called Mindset. And she says that there's two basic mindsets: fixed, which is you believe in your abilities are fixed, therefore you can't change them, and then growth, and that you have the faith that your talents and traits will develop throughout time through hard work and patience. Really and truly, it's all about the growth mindset. If you feel like you are stuck and limited by your life circumstances, your abilities, you're not going to grow and your mindset will be stagnant. With a growth mindset, you're going to be pursuing different things to ensure that you're constantly growing. And you're looking for the right things to feed your mind in order to help you leverage and grow.
That's great. So it was Mindset by Carol Dweck, right?
That's correct.
Yep. Yeah. And I read that book, and I highly recommend you guys go get that book because
Absolute. A must read.
It's a must read if you're struggling with your mindset, that fixed mindset versus that growth mindset. Just understanding that will really help you choose between the two mindsets so you don't get caught in the fixed mindset, because it's very easy too. All right. So I want to, ask you this question. I have a statement, and I believe I saw it from your page and I wrote it down. What does this statement mean to you? Feed your mind like you feed your body.
Yes, I had a post about that, and basically it's garbage in, garbage out, right? Like what you feed your body so that it will perform, it'll sustain you, that you can move and go about. But what about your mind? If you're just consuming rubbish and you're not elevating your thought by positive affirmation, quiet time, journaling, meditating, listening to podcasts like this, getting good content to really elevate your thinking, you're going back to that fixed mindset. Really, you're really going to be in a stagnated mode.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So get away from that fixed mindset, work on that growth mindset. All right. So
all the time.
Like you just said, listening to this podcast, remember guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. So are books and podcasts important for our growth? If so, what type of personal development books do you recommend? You did give one gem out there. You gave Mindset by Carol Dweck. Can we have a few other for our audience out there?
Oh, I have a slew of them. So absolutely big fan of both books, podcasts, Audible books. My go-to, I've read through Ed Mylett. He has a great podcast as well as his book, Power of One More. My personal fave, but if you are not one for profanity, may not like it, but David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. Absolute must read. Just if he's a former Navy SEAL, so if he's a little bit rough around the edges, but his content is like bang on.
Yep.
So for those who are sensitive ears, do not listen. They do have a clean version now. Trevor Noah, again, back to telling jokes, making money out of telling jokes. Trevor Noah, Born a Crime. Absolutely amazing. And Dale Carnegie, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Those are just a few. There are so many more. Seth Godin, like he has a daily newsletter that he sends out. I would highly recommend people sign up to receive that.
Thank you. Seth Godin, Trevor Noah, David Goggins, Ed Mylett, Carol Dweck. The information is out there. You guys just got 5 gems. You can go and buy, you can subscribe, you can get the information. You can fuel yourself up with all this information. So I believe in books. Clavette believes in books, podcasts. So make sure you guys are getting books, get the right books, find the right podcast, and just let that play. Listen to it, read it. It gives you so much inspiration and may help you break that fear. Okay. So
Absolutely.
So we're going to transition to LinkedIn because, that's where I found you. And I'm just seeing the benefits of being on LinkedIn. I believe I just created my account a few months ago, and I'm like, wow, I was missing out. So, what are the benefits of paying attention to and building your LinkedIn profile?
So just want to share with you, Marcel, here's a crazy statistic about LinkedIn. Do you believe it's only 1 to 3% of people actually actively engage on their LinkedIn on a consistent basis?
Wow.
Crazy. LinkedIn has just now hit 1 billion users worldwide. Why would you not be there? Like It's just if you're the proverbial leaving money on the table, that's what you're doing when you don't dial into LinkedIn. And it's one of those social channels that really hasn't been overly saturated or gamified. So it's think of LinkedIn like your new business calling card. First impressions count. You really need to create that first impression, and that's what you do with LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn landing page, or your profile, that's your landing page. Before anyone goes any step further, that's what they're checking out. They're checking out what you have there. Then they may hop to a post, and that's how you and I interacted. They want to see, what are you putting out there?
Right.
But think of it this way. LinkedIn is an actual search engine. So you use LinkedIn because LinkedIn and Google actually have a partnership. Every time you update something on LinkedIn, it also goes to Google. This is unlike any other social platform because they don't do it on Instagram or X or Facebook. LinkedIn is the only one. When you do like an update on your profile, it is then translated. So it increases your search engine optimization.
Wow.
So you're easier to find. So when someone's looking for someone with your skill set and you're not there, they're not going to find you.
It's true.
Right? From a networking standpoint, like time, borders, resources now become like irrelevant because guess what? You don't need to be in the same country to collaborate with someone across the world. Right. You don't need to go to that event to meet them because you can just reach out to them. I've met several individuals from Portugal, Spain, Brazil, a couple in Pakistan, Mumbai, it's crazy. Nigeria, like you name it. I've met people from all corners of the earth using LinkedIn. And I'm not just talking about casual connections because that's the next thing. Don't just go into it to say you're networking. You want to make real relationships with people. Right. Start having those conversations. It's not like every day. You're not going to be chalking it up like you do with your bestie. No. You're going to have, hey, tell me what's going on. And you want to learn a little bit about their side of the world, right? Yeah. And then you're going to use that for lead generation because based on the content you're putting out there, plus you now have like this killer profile, people can find you, you're bringing the leads to yourself. Right. So you've already now, increased your business profile just by using one platform.
Wow. So I don't need to say any more to that. Get on LinkedIn, plain and simple. All right. There's so many benefits like Clavette was saying. The reason I'm sitting across from Clavette here today is because of LinkedIn. If it wasn't for LinkedIn, this podcast would not be happening. So get your LinkedIn profile built, put it together, figure out how to present yourself in a professional manner, professional way, and use it to your advantage. So, I have one final question on the show, and I didn't even realize it's been super quick, but it's been great. I've learned so much. You provided so much value. You. I actually feel like I'm improving. I'm improving from being here across from you. So, you definitely got something. Whatever it is, keep pursuing that. Keep going after it. Whatever.
Thank you.
Like I feel like you can build your own tribe and community, and you're definitely gonna get a lot of followers because you provide a lot of value. And people in this space, like they want to improve. Like there's people that are hungry that want to get better, like myself. And hearing people like yourself speak, it's encouraging, right? I'm encouraged. I'm more inspired. More like I could do this. Keep going. And
you should, because the content you're putting out there is absolutely amazing and it's needed. And you're taking it from a viewpoint that others are not seeing. So everything in the world has been said, but sometimes people need to hear it from the viewpoint of which you're bringing it to them. Yeah. So don't ever feel like your voice or opinion is not relevant. How you're bringing it, it's because somebody needed to hear it the way that you're delivering it. So keep going.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So our final question on the show, all right, is what are 3 things that you've learned on your journey in life that you want to share with others that you think would help them on their journey?
Ooh. So 3 things. Ooh, that's a hard one. Wow. You're going to end off on okay. So journey of life, believe in yourself. Number one, believe in yourself. For years, I lived with imposter syndrome just because certain things to me came easy and I thought it couldn't be that easy. Therefore, I must be wrong, or because I love sales and it would just click. And I'm like, you just do this. And I thought maybe I'm doing this wrong. And I always second guess myself. It was belief in myself to realize, you know what? No, actually, what you're doing is right. Second is have grace, you know, have grace with yourself, because you know what? There's enough people wanting to tear you down. You don't need to be one of those individuals. And consistency,
Yep.
commit. Like we all get, you know, like back to your very first question about, you know, New Year's resolutions. We all get, oh yeah, we got to do this. And, you know, motivation only lasts for a while. It, you know, it's kind of like bathing, you know, you have to do it daily for it to commit to, for it to work. So being consistent actually is a huge thing. So showing up, because it's the law of compounding effect, right? It's that compounding effect. If you're consistently doing the right habits each day, it builds and you'll see it within a year. Committing to yourself, setting specific goals, and committing to those daily habits, ooh, your life has changed in 1 year.
Yeah.
I'm living proof of that. I've seen it. I've done it many a time.
Amazing. Clivette Combs, number 1, believe in yourself. Number 2, have grace with yourself. And number 3, consistency and commit. Again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Ton of value provided. How can our audience reach out to you?
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn at Clivette Coombs. Guess what? There's not many of me out there.
One and only.
So when you go on LinkedIn, Clivette Coombs, you'll find me.
You'll find Clivette Coombs on LinkedIn, all right? Get on Clivette Coombs LinkedIn if you're trying to develop yourself, your leadership, your mindset, you know, just yourself, personal development. Clearly, she's on a path of personal development, growth. You could see it from this episode. If you haven't grown from this episode, rewind the tape and watch it again, because I've grown from this 30-minute podcast here today. All right. Remember, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. And for this content to get out there and for us to help people, because the goal is always to help other people, you know, you must share this content. Again, thank you, Clivette, for coming on the show. Truly a pleasure having you on, and, you know, continue on your journey.
Thank you, Marcel. And you keep doing what you're doing, because this is so needed. And this is some awesome content you're putting out there. So thank you.
I appreciate you. All the best. Take care.
All the best. Take care.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.